And welcome back to 101 East. 47-year-old Wong Bi Lin was the first Singaporean to receive stem cell therapy for her heart condition. She was diagnosed with congestive heart failure in February of 2006, and soon after she received treatment from doctors at Singapore's Mount Elizabeth Hospital, working with Theravita.
I think one should treasure life because you don't know what is going to hit you. Like for me, I was very fit. I was at 45 to 47 kilo, running 4.3 km, and suddenly I'm hit with a virus and told that I have only 2 years left or I might die at any moment. One of my uncle, he went on the net and then he found out about this stem cell, and he kindly paid for our trip to Thailand to investigate about this stem cell. So we came to know about Theravita. The doctor was telling me about the cost, which I think is rather high. I think it was about US about 40,000. Mount Elizabeth called me to the clinic and then he interviewed me and told me that since I'm the first patient that Theravita recommended, and then I fit all the criteria and requirements, so they are going to waive off part of the fees. If they don't offset the cost, I don't think I'll be able to afford the fees that is required for this operation. Since I have 2 years anyway, I'm grasping at straws, in order to prolong my life. Because I would like to spend more time with my family, see my children growing up. Yeah. So I decided to go with the operation. After my op, I had to go back to my own cardiologist, and then he did an echogram and it showed improvement. And I've asked him about lifespan and he said it's 10 years, but I'm looking forward to more than that.
Well, still with me in our Kuala Lumpur studio are Professor Lee Silver from Princeton University and Dr. Tain Tut, the medical director at the biotechnology company Theravita. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us still. Dr. Tain Tut, we saw there she was saying $40,000 for a treatment that has not been proven, that is entirely experimental. How do you justify that kind of a cost?
Well, if you have to justify the cost and with the improvement of the quality of life, we have seen a lot of patients. That means, it's not only the cost. But we are looking into a cost that will come down very, very soon by the end of this year or by next 1 or 2 years, because at this moment our stem cells production is in Israel, so the cost is high. But once we have a lab in Bangkok, that's our main objective. Okay. We want to bring the cost down.
Professor Silver, if you had a family member suffering from congestive heart failure, would you recommend this treatment?
Not at this point in time. I don't think so.
Even if there were no other options available?
From what I know, I'm not convinced enough that it would be worth the effort at this point in time.
Dr. Tain Tut, would you give this to a family member?
Well, with my experience, with my understanding, because we have been treating over 200 patients, if I would go for a shot. Because
you'd be happy to have a member of your family.
Even if my relative doesn't have any other option, right? It's saying that we have a lot of patients coming in that the cardiologist or the cardiac surgeon is giving only a 3 months term. So just give it a shot. Whether it's going to improve them or will not have any effect on the patient depends on after the treatment.
But the whole process is ethically extremely challenged, is it not? There is absolutely no guarantee that this is going to work, and in a way there's a Frankenstein element in all of this, isn't there? This is using human beings to test treatments that may ultimately prove disastrous.
Well, I don't know about the Frankenstein element here. I mean, I think the problem is we don't have enough knowledge about how the stem cells will behave once they're put into the body. These are stem cells from blood.
And surely that's the point. I mean,
Yeah,
there's an enormous global debate talking about modifying plants genetically because of the effect it might have. And here we are talking about modifying humans genetically without even thinking twice about the effect that that might have.
Right, but we're going to learn. I mean, we don't have the information right now. I'm convinced that within 10 years, we will understand how these cells become modified to become heart tissue or to become other kinds of tissue. So I don't want to put a damper on the field. I think there's amazing therapies that are going to come out of this when we gain more information. We're just at the beginning right now.
So, I mean, I may be misreading you here, but you're saying that it's worth the human cost, the experimentation on people who know no better,
well, I don't think
simply for the benefits of scientific inquiry?
No, I'm not saying that. I think most of the research has to be done in the laboratory first, and having a sense of what these cells will do. And then once you understand the cells, then you can begin clinical trials on human beings.
Dr. Tainted, I mean, again, I ask you, does it not make sense for you to expose all of that to the light of peer review, to give it the thorough kind of testing that every other medical treatment seems to go through in the Western world?
I would say yes, also, to do some thorough testing also. But if you look at the point here is we are still doing all the tests in the future. Like Dr. Silva said, yes, we are still in a learning curve. We still have to go through another 3, 4, 5 years to see what the stem cell is going to behave. And we are still looking for some new technology that we are hoping, and I think it's very soon, we would like to have the technology to give the code for the stem cells that we inject. It's just like a label the stem cells so that we will know where the stem cells are going in.
All right, so it seems that both of you are reasonably comfortable with the fact that this process can be achieved in an ethical manner. I mean, you said earlier on that the patients must at least have some kind of information as to what's going on. Clarify a little bit. What exactly should the patients know, and what safeguards do you think are the minimum required?
The patient should know whether or not the therapy has been vetted by the FDA or another agency in a European country or anywhere, basically, or whether it's completely experimental instead. They should know that what the probability is that they're going to improve and what it means to improve their lives, what it means, even if they live longer, is it going to be a good life or not. They should have all of this information, all the information on the previous patients that have been treated in
And
this
how
way.
prominent should that be?
Oh, it should be extremely prominent. I mean, it must be put in front of them. And then if they have no other choices and money's not an issue for them, then okay. But I mean, they must have that information to make an informed consent.
Okay. I mean, I looked at Theravite's website. The home page, not any indication at all that this is experimental procedure, that there may be danger. We've got just a quick snapshot of it there. No warnings at all. The scene, pleasant, bucolic, very comfortable looking. The treatment page, the information on treatment page that you've got there, also no red signs, no flags of warning suggesting that this may be dangerous to your health rather than beneficial.
So we say that there's no danger because it's your own cells that we are injecting into it. That's why every time, patient or even the doctors ask, is there any side effect with our stem cells? There's no side effect because it's your own cells. We just take your blood and, isolate, culture, and harvest to get the stem cells.
But it doesn't say that it's proven. It doesn't say there are concerns that this would the experimental procedure. No warning flags at all. Is that right?
But we have. It's not 100% true, but what we say is we have a supply agreement from the company that we issue to the patient before they get the treatment. In that agreement, it says it may or may not help you to improve.
Is that strong enough language, ethically speaking?
No, I don't think so. I think they have to be able to see all of the information so that they can make up their own mind.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can put forward any treatment you like that hasn't been tested and say there's no evidence that this is damaging. Do you see what I mean? You can
Yes.
do anything to anybody, and until it does damage someone, there is no evidence that it's damaging. The whole point of medical research is to prove that it isn't, not to wait until it is. Is that not the case?
Yes, that is the case. And I think there's a problem, as I said, there's confusion in the world over the term stem cells. Everybody thinks of stem cells as being this miracle technology. And scientists also do, but scientists understand there's a lot of work that must be done to transform some basic understanding into clinical application.
Okay. Dr. Tut, a final word from you. You're convinced that what's going on in Thailand is perfectly acceptable, and you're doing your best for people who have no other options.
I would say that we are doing our best for all the patient that has no other options, and we are just trying to help them to improve the quality of life. And last thing I want to say is the stem cell is not a cure. We always say that it's not a cure, it's only to improve the quality of life. It will extend your life from 3 years, maybe up to 5, 10 years, 15 years. And again, we are still in the learning stage.
Gentlemen, there we will leave it. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
And that's all we have time for on this edition of 101 East. Until next time, goodbye.